Good morning, students. I'm Dr. B. Anita Kumari, Associate Professor of School of Management Studies, Wales Institute of Science, Technology and Advanced Studies, Chennai. So, in today's class, we are going to discuss about a quasi-contract and performance of contract. These two contract is very much important under the Contract Act, Indian Contract Act 1872. In this session, we are going to see quasi-contract, the meaning of quasi-contract and performance of contract, various types of quasi-contract, legal rules related to the performance of contract, contract which need not to be performed, by whom the contract to be performed, along with some case studies and examples. Let's start the class. So before starting this unit, first we should know the objectives of this class. To state the meaning of performance of contract, to perform the contract, to state the types of performance of contract, to understand the various classification of quasi-contract, to aware the rules related to the performance of contract. So what is called quasi-contract, first of all? So quasi-contract law have been derived from the Latin statement nemo debt locupetri and excellena juctura, which proclaims that no human being should gain an unjust benefit from another loss. It was one of the main principles of Roman law. So actually, the quasi-contract instance actually quasi-contract actually is not a contract. Okay, there will not be any kind of a relationship between the parties at the time when they enter in the contract, but the law will impose them to execute certain contract. So I will explain one by one. For example, the word quasi, the word quasi means having some resemblance to, but not at all. Quasi contract means law that are like regular contract law, but not quite so. So it includes offers, acceptance, conciliation to more parties who are legally, mentally capable. Whereas the quasi-contract definition is based on the more of the principles of natural law, such as a moral conscience, justice, honesty, duty towards another human being. See, quasi-contract in the sense it is not a real contract, but due to some situation, due to certain condition, due to some some emergency purpose, one person may act as a another person nominee, or another one person will be entering in a contract with another person. For example, if a package belonging to A is delivered to B, then M is legally obligated to return it. See, in this example, A do not know who is M, but the courier or parcel which is wrongly delivered to the M. Okay, so in this case, what supposed to do? There is no obligation that M he has to return it, but due to some due to some honesty, due to some justice, the another person he wants to deliver the goods to the person whose it belongs to. This is called as a quasi contract. Quasi means almost or apparently but not really a contract, means an agreement which is enforceable by law. This quasi contract created based on the morality, good civilization, ethics and human value. A quasi-contract is not a contract at all because the essential elements for the formation of contract are absent in the quasi of contract. It is an obligation imposed by law upon a person for the benefit of the another, even in the absence of contract. For example, finder of the goods. For example, uh, sometime while you are walking on a road, you found certain somebody's purse which carries their Aadhaar card, driving license, all the things, the important document is there in the purse. In the sense, even the purse is also is having the identification proof of the particular owner of the purse along with the mobile number. Since what will you do? You will make a call. You will make a call. So here the law is not forcing you to enter in a contract, but due to your honesty and justice, your morality, you are entering in a contract with some person. You making a call and informing that sir, your purse is somewhere. Same way, if you find anybody's mobile, okay, suddenly the owner of the mobile is making you call from somebody's mobile. In the sense, what will you do? There are certain person who will take a mobile, but in some situation, what will you do? If you are a honest person, you will attend the call and you will be informing him that sir, your mobile is here. I found here. It's with me only. You can come and collect it. So yeah, actually, there is no contract between you and the particular owner of the goods, but the law imposes you. Due to some situation, you are entering in a contract with someone else. Silent features of a quasi-contractual rights. Quasi-contract is not a real contract. We have to make sure that the quasi contract is always carries based on the justice. Okay, it is not based on upon the offer and acceptance. It does not arises from any formal agreement. Doctrine of quasi contract, the quantum merit means the actual value of service performed. Okay, so already we have seen this topic, what is called quantum merit under the quasi contract. So under the quasi contract, there are some types are there. So totally there are 5 types of quasi contract is there. Supply of necessity of life to incompetent person, section 68. Reimbursement of amount paid by an interested person, section 69. Obligation to pay for non-gratuitous without any expectation. Now, what do you mean by gratuitous? Non-gratuitous means without any expectation. Obligation to pay for non-gratuitous. Act, section 70. Responsibility of finder of the goods, section 71. So first one, supply of necessaries of life to a incapable person. See, as per the terms, we know that as per the Indian Contract Act 1872, under the essential elements of contract, as we know already that the person who is competent to enter in a contract, who are the person is competent to enter in a contract, already we have seen in the Indian Contract Act 1872. So also we have seen the who are the person who could not able to enter in a contract, like lunatic, drunken person, or unsound mind person, or insolvent person. So sometime you would be in a position to supply some necessities, to the incapable person. So even though so here the law is not forcing you to enter in a contract, but due to the necessaries, you are entering in a contract with other person. For example, A supplies B a lunatic which necessary suitable to his condition of a life. So if you want to help somebody else, even though he is a minor or lunatic or whoever may be as per the contract act, okay, who is not eligible to enter in a contract. In case if you are entering in a contract, if the reason is valid, if the reason it is necessary to support their life in the sense that is accepted, that is called quasi contract. Okay, that is called supply of necessaries of a life to the incapable person. So here I have mentioned some diagram like food, water, shelter. These are all the basic needs. Okay, if you are providing this kind of a basic needs to the some person who are lunatic, minor, who or somebody else, then it is valid. If a person incapable of entering into contract or anyone whom he is legally bound to support is supplied by another person with the necessaries suited to his condition of life, the person who has furnished the supplies entitled to be reimbursed from the property of such incapable person. Okay, for example, I am supporting one minor. He doesn't have a parent. Okay, due to some unexpected thing, he lost his parents. But he is a wealthy person. In this situation, I'm helping him by way of providing all the necessary things like food, water, shelter, everything I have provided. So for this, I can get a claim from his property. Okay, that is called supply of necessaries of life to a incapable person. Supply of necessities of the life to a capable person. Here I have given a case study here. So under the Konwarlal versus Surajmal Air 1963. So this is a case study about Kunwarlal and Surajmal. To support the Kunwarlal, what happened? He was supplying his necessities. Okay, the necessities which was very helpful for him. So in April in 1963, in this case, the house given to minor on rent for living and studies was held to be the supply of necessaries was recoverable. Okay, that is a case study under the Kanwarlal Sarajmal. The another case study is Nash v. Iman 1908. So actually in this case, the defendant was a minor. He already had sufficient clothing suitable to his position. He was supplied further clothing by the plaintiff who was a tailor. It was held that the price of the cloth was supplied not recoverable on the grounds, since it is not a necessary of us It is not coming under supply of necessities. So can you able to understand? So under the case of Nash versus Ima 1908, so even though the particular miner is having enough cloth, the tailor to support him was providing some cloth. So after that, he was trying to recollect the money, whatever cloth he has provided, but he could not able to recollect it. He could not able to recover the amount whatever he spent for the cloth. Why? Because since the miner is having already cloth, since it is not coming under the supply of necessities. Whereas in the first case, Kanwarlal Suraj Mall, in this case, even though he is a minor, he was giving his home for rental purpose, for study purpose. Okay, so this case is a valid. So if the particular situation where which is relies on the necessities, then it is acceptable. Reimbursement of amount paid by the interested person. A person who is interested in a payment of money, which is another is bound by law to pay and who thereof pay it, entitled to reimbursement by others. So sometime to support somebody else, even though you are not related to the particular person, you might be entering in a contract. Okay, so that is called as reimbursement of amount paid by interested person. See the example here. A hold a land in Bengal on a lease. B is the owner of the land. The land revenue payable by B to the government is an arrear. Therefore, the government advised the land for the sale to recover the dues. So to prevent the sale of a land, A pays the arrears of a land revenue. In this case, B is bound to reimburse the amount to A. So I hope so you can understand. A is the owner of the particular home. He is having the home in Bengal. So he let his home for lease purpose. B is the tenant. So in such situation, what happened? Uh, A, he has to pay certain tax or something else. So now to help A, B is entering in a contract with the government and he's settling down all the payment, whatever is due from A's point of view. Later on, he can collect from the A. This is a best example for reimbursement of amount paid by interested person. I hope so you can understand. So reimbursement of amount paid by interested. So in this example, clearly you can understand actually the contract is between A and the government. Okay, but B is entering in the contract to support A. B is providing money and just settling down all the accounts which is related to the A. Later on, he can recover it. That is the best example for this. So one case study is there. That case study is about Govindaram versus state of Gondal. So actually, in 1950, in this case, the defendant agreed to sell the mile to A, who agreed to sell the mile to plaintiff. The defendant as a owner was bound to pay the municipal taxes due on the mill, and these arrear amount to rupees 1 lakh. The defendant defaulted, and so the second plaintiff paid to avoid litigation with the municipality. The plaintiff too sued the defendant for recovery for the amount under the section. You could able to understand. So Govindaram, a state of government. So Govindaram, to support his defendant, he paid the 1 lakh rupees so to the government. Later on, he could able to recover it. So that is called reimbursement of amount paid by the interested person. Obligation to pay for non-gratuitous. So what is called non-gratuitous? Without any expectation. Sometimes the person lawfully does anything for another person, deliver anything to him non-gratuitously, later is bound to make a compensation and restore the things as stored seller. For example, see this. A tradesman leave his goods at B house by mistake. B treat the goods as his own and use them. B is bound to pay for the goods. So see here, sometime you may enter in a contract with another person to safeguard him. Okay, so in such case, the person may accept the work whatever you have done. So here I have given a 2 example. The second example, A saves B's property from fire. A is not entitled to compensation from B if the circumstance shows that he is intentionally helping. So what is that here? A is a person who could able to view that the B's property is about to fire. Without the knowledge of the B, he was helping and he was safeguarding the property of B. So in this situation, what is that? This is a non-gratuitous expectation. So what happened? So A also accept the same act. Okay, whereas in the first example, a tradesman leaves his goods at B house by mistake. B treated the goods on his own, used them. So here B is bound to pay. Why? Because this is not a necessary thing. This is not a immediate thing without the expectation, without the permission of the owner. He started to use it. In this case, he has to pay for it. Responsibility of a finder of the goods. So what is called responsibility of the finder of the goods? A person who find the goods belonging to another and take them into his custody is subject to same responsibility as bailey. For example, I'm walking on the road, suddenly I saw some purse. If I take that purse, then I'm calling as a bailey. That means it means that I need to return back the particular purse to the owner of the goods if I comes to know the address and all the identical proof, if I could be able to trace the owner of the particular purse. So he must take the reasonable care of the goods and keep them in a sound condition and trying to find out his owner. So example, A finds the purse and he can return the owner of the goods if he finds the owner. Okay, so there are certain conditions of it. In case if the finder of the goods is not in a position to find the owner, for example, I'm walking on the road, I saw some small puppy, some quality puppy, I have seen that, then I could not able to ask the owner of the puppy. Okay, so I'm searching here and there, I could not able to trace out the owner. Even I'm just keeping the puppy in my home. Okay, I'm safeguarding the puppy. Just I'm waiting for anybody's request whether they could able to trace out the puppy or not. So in this case, I could not able to find anybody who's searching puppy. So what I can do, either I can keep the puppy with myself or I can hand over to somebody else. So see, with the responsibility of the finder of the goods falls under certain condition. When you could not able to trace out the finder of the goods, you can have the goods with yourself. Okay, as well as see here also X can also claim the charges if he has spent on maintenance of the goods. Same example as I told you that I found the puppy, I'm keeping under my custody. I'm giving food, all the things, I'm spending my money to take care of the puppy. After 10 days, the owner has come, the owner is asking the puppy. So in such situation, I can get a claim whatever amount I spent to safeguard the particular puppy. Okay, why? Because I'm safeguarding for safeguarding the property. I have done something in the sense. In such situation, I can claim the amount. In case if the owner refuses to pay amount, then I can sue against him, or else I can hold the property. Next one, if the owner of the goods is denied the goods, that the finder can either withhold the goods and leave the goods. So what do you mean by this? If the owner, for example, if the owner after some period, if he come and approach you, and if he's saying that this is my property or my product in the sense, if you are ready to give, but he is not ready to accept, in such situation, what you can do? Either you can hand over the goods to him or you can leave as it is. Next, if Y require the compensation for holding of goods from X, sometimes the owner of the goods may expect compensation from your side. That means the person who found the goods. Okay, in such situation, there is no responsibility of the finder to provide a money to the particular owner of the goods. There are certain situations where you no need to return back the goods to the finder. So some situations are when the goods are commodity perishable in nature. Already told you what is called perishable in nature. Perishable means what? Which is not having a long life. That means you can take a flower, vegetable, fruits. These and all is a perishable in nature. So if you find any fruit, you just imagine that you are traveling on the train. You saw you are sitting in one kind of you are you could able to found one basket of fruits there, nobody is there, then at last you are searching who's the owner of the goods. If you could not able to find the owner of the goods, you can't able to do anything. Since the goods is a perishable in nature, you can't able to hold it for yourself. As well as what you can do, you can search the finder of the goods. So in such situation, you no need to return back the goods to the particular owner of the goods. Then owner cannot be found. As I told you, in case you are trying to track the owner to return back the goods, but you could not able to track the owner, in the sense, what you can do, you no need to return back the goods, you can keep it with yourself. Then owner refused to pay the compensation. As I told you that whenever you found any kind of a goods, if you have paid anything or if you have spent some money to safeguard it, after asking the amount, after you are informing all the details to the owner, then also the owner is not ready to pay the compensation, then you no need to give a product to him. You can withhold yourself. Compensation amount the 2/3 for the value of the compensation. That's what I told you. Whenever you buy, get found any kind of a product, if you are spending any money for that, you can get a claim for it. This is called responsibility of a finder of the goods. For example, F pick up a diamond on the floor on K's shop. Sorry, K's shop. He handed it over to the K to keep it till true owner is found out. No one appears to claim it for quite some week, in spite of the wide advertisement is given in a newspaper. F claims the diamond from K, who refused to return. Now K is bound to return the diamond to F, who is entitled to retain the diamond against the whole world except the true owner. Can you able to understand? So F is one person. Just imagine that he is a public. Okay, he found some diamond in front of the K's shop. So what he does, he hand over the diamond to the case and given instruction that please try to find out the owner of the particular diamond. If you find the owner of the diamond, please check the validity proof of the identity of the particular person and make him to prove that the particular diamond is belongs to him. Okay, K was trying to find the owner of the particular diamond. He could not able to find it. So later on, the public has visited the shop and he was asking the shopkeeper, would you find the owner of the particular goods? He said no. Then he was asking, okay, then return back the diamond to me. Now K is refusing to give a diamond to the F. So in this case, what will happen? Actually, the case is favored to the F. Why? Because the particular product is found by F, not by K. So now F, he can approach K to give a product to F. Payment of delivery by mistake under coercion. Sometime what we will do, by mistakenly, we will be handovering some goods or we will be handovering some money to someone else. In such case, if he comes to know, we can recollect it. That is called payment of delivery by mistake or under coercion. See this, a person to whom money has been paid or anything delivered by mistake under the coercion must repay and return it. Example, A and B jointly owes rupees 5,000 to C. A alone pays this amount to C. B not knowing this, again he has paid a 5,000 to C. In this case, C is bound to repay the 5,000 to B. So I hope so you can understand. A and B, both the persons have won. That means they have received 5,000 from C. Actually, A only have agreed to pay amount to C. Even he has given a money to C. Without knowing this, B entered in a contract and he also returned the 5,000 to C. So in this case, it is the responsibility of the C to return back the money to B. Why? Because already A has given a money, so he should not collect money again from the another partner. So one more example also you can take, like this is a case study is given. Amin Trading Co. versus a Bank of Baroda 1994. A railway company refused to deliver up the certain goods to the consignee except upon the payment of an illegal charge for carriage. The consignee pays the sum charged in order to obtain the goods. He entitled to recover so much of a charge as is illegally excessive. So Section 72 does not draw any distinction between a mistake or fact or mistaken of law. So another example we can give you. So in this case, actually what happened, an amount of rupees 50,000 by mistake was credited to the defendant partnership firm by Plaintiff Bank. It was held that the defendant cannot unjustified entry on an account of wrong entry made in a bank account and it's liable to repay. So that's all. These are the types of quasi contract. Again, I'm telling you the small recap of the quasi contract. So quasi contract in the sense when actually there is no, it is not a real contract. There is no intention to enter in a, there is no intention by the parties to enter in a contract, but the law will impose them to enter in a contract due to some justice, moral value, or some, honesty concern. Okay, there are some types of contract, supply of necessities of life to the incompetent person. That means, as per the Indian Contract Act, you should not enter in a contract with some persons like lunatic, minor, and all. But due to some necessity, if you want to supply any kind of a necessities necessity items to safeguard their life, then you can enter in a contract with them. That is called supply of necessity of a life to the incompleted person. For that, you can recover a money. Whereas reimbursement of amount paid by interested person, sometime to support somebody else, you can enter in a contract with the person and you can pay a money. For that purpose only, I have given an example. So the tenant or tenant of the house, sometimes they can pay any tax or any kind of a water tax, any kind of a tax of the owner to safeguard them. Okay. Next, obligation to pay for non-gratuitous act. Sometime without any expectation, you can pay a money. Next, responsibility of the finder of the goods. So what do you mean by that? Whenever you find any kind of a goods, you have to hand over to the owner. In case if you could not able to find the owner, then you can do further. Okay, so in that also we have seen a lot of condition. Last one, wrongfully amount is debited. But what do you mean by this? In case if you have amount, if you have given amount to somebody else, okay, so reimbursement of amount paid to the interested person and repayment of delivery by mistake or under coercion. That means that in case if you paid amount, for example, I went to one grocery shop, I purchased the items worth of 1,000 rupees. Instead of giving 1,000 rupees, I have given at 2,000 rupees. But after reaching home only, I realized that oh, I forgot I have given 2,000 rupees, but the actual cost is only 1,000 rupees. So in this case, what you can do, you can go back to the particular shop and you can claim your money. That is called payment of delivery by mistake or under coercion.